Day 3 of jury selection for the trial of 3 men accused of murdering Ahmaud Arbery, a man who was jogging through their neighborhood. Now, they were trying to find 12 unbiased jurors for this case, plus 4 alternates. This can be challenging. It's such a high-profile case. It happens to be a hot-button issue because race is involved. Gun rights are also in the mix. Joining now, Dr. Rachel York Colangelo, a national managing director of jury consulting with Magna Legal Services. She's here to help walk us through the process. Rachel, good morning to you. Now, undoubtedly, everyone has heard Ahmaud Arbery's name right now. They know the racial tones involved in this case. We're in day 3 of jury selection for the shooting of Arbery. So what is each side looking for in terms of finding the right jurors?
Sure. So given the nature of the case, how politically charged the issues are, as you noted, both sides are going to want to glean any information possible on the prospective jurors' political ideologies and worldviews on racism and social justice. So the prosecutors are going to want jurors who are more politically or socially liberal, who recognize the realities of racism in their community, and who are supportive of social justice and reform initiatives. On the flip side, the defense team is going to want the opposite. They're going to want jurors who are more politically or socially conservative, who don't necessarily believe that racism is a problem in their community, and who are not necessarily supportive of social justice initiatives. This case is largely going to come down to which person or persons the jurors most identify with, Ahmaud Arbery or the defendants.
Now, when it comes to the questionnaire that a lot of these prospective juries are looking at and filling out, we know that defense counsel is asking jurors whether they believe the Confederate flag is a racist symbol. What exactly are they trying to what are they trying to get at when they ask this question?
Sure. So they're wanting to understand these potential jurors' views about racism, as I said, and race relations in our country, more specifically in this community. Of course, the allegation is that these defendants were racially motivated in their conduct. And we know that Travis McMichael had a Confederate flag vanity plate on his truck, which the prosecution will undoubtedly point to as evidence that he was displaying a racist symbol and that he and the other defendants acted out of hate toward Mr. Arbery due to his race. So jurors who agree that the Confederate flag is a racist symbol will tend to be more favorable to the prosecution, while those who do not agree may sympathize with, or at least will be more open to the defendant's position.
How long do you expect this process to take? Because finding jurors who don't have bias in this case is going to be extremely challenging.
It's very hard to say how long it will take. Typically, in highly publicized cases like this, jury selection is quite a tedious and lengthy process. It depends on a number of factors, including how many jurors have been summoned, the judge's specific procedure for the voir dire questioning and the selection process, how long each side, the legal teams, have to question the prospective jurors. As you alluded to, there are likely going to be many jurors over the course of the selection that are eliminated due to bias or because of their exposure to pretrial publicity. And so it's going to take a long time in order to get enough qualified jurors, as we call them, people who are free from hardship, conflict, or bias, then to move into the next round of jury selection.
And again, the video captured showing Arbery being chased down by these 3 men, extremely emotional, and no doubt most of the people being asked to be jurors on the case have seen that video. Thank you so much, Dr. Colangelo. We appreciate you being here this morning.